This is a program that we're already thinking about next year's topics before we even start this one. So maybe we get a little ahead of ourselves. But if we can't stay ahead of the issues that are in front of us, then we're sort of doing a disservice to you guys. So we really appreciate your attendance. We appreciate your input on things you'd like to hear. And that's throughout the year. You don't just have to do it now. When you look at the topic of the title of this meeting, prosperity, volatility, and sustainability. That's a lot of abilities, right? It makes me question my ability sometimes. But these things are critical, folks. We know that. Honestly, who here ever thought you'd sell calves at the prices you sold them this year? Anybody really predict that? Crazy, absolutely crazy, right? And 5 years ago, we'd have been laughed out of town if any one of us would have said you're going to sell cattle at these prices. It's amazing. We also need to know they're not going to stay there. We need to study our lesson. We need to study it hard, and we've got some really good speakers on this agenda to help you do just that. So we need to be prepared. And I'd like to take just a minute and kind of expand on that being prepared statement. We in the Ag Division spent most of 2014 doing a little strategizing, thinking a little bit about how we could be better positioned to do the things that we need to do to hopefully help provide good information to you, our producers. And this was kind of a unique approach because it wasn't me and two or three of my top managers sitting in a room saying this is what we ought to do. This was an effort that involved every member of the Agriculture Division. So initially it was kind of slow and painful, but I think we're all exceedingly happy with the outcome that we've got. We focused some on our consulting effort. We think that's really a part of a producer relations program, of which consulting is a huge piece. But what we've recognized is that we have really never had dedicated resources for education or for information transfer in unique ways. So that's an effort that we're gonna fire up. We're looking for a person to manage that effort for us right now. We're looking at adding some additional resources in our consulting realm. We've done a little bit of research and demonstration in the Ag Division for probably 65 plus years. And we've looked at that from a few different perspectives. And what we've done in this planning process is create what we call centers. We've created 4 new centers. One of those, and these titles are long and they don't hardly fit on a business card, but if you think about the words in them, they probably make sense. One of the centers is a Center for Advanced Agriculture Systems and Technology. Everything we do is a system, and everywhere you turn today, there's a new technology to potentially apply to that. But it's hard, right? It's hard. If I got this technology and I want it to talk to that technology, I'm not smart enough to make just that happen. So how am I going to put these latest things like UAVs and all of these sensors, how are we going to make those really tell us something? So that's one of the efforts of that center. We have a Center for Economic Information and Analysis. Every time we have one of these cattlemen's meetings, we have somebody to visit with you about our market, what's going on, some projection of what's going on, and then how maybe you can prepare yourself for that. We want more resources in that arena there at the foundation as well. We have a Center for Pecan and Specialty Ag Production. We know pecans are critical for this part of the country, and we've been involved in that quite a little while. We want a dedicated set of resources to that. But you notice that specialty ag part, that's a little unique. That's a little unique. I think that's the best thing I can say. But there are a whole lot of producers today that don't own enough land for it to be a viable economic unit in our traditional enterprises. So what can they do? That's some of the efforts that we're going to be looking at in our specialty ag group. And then finally, a Center for Land Stewardship. Land stewardship is sort of what it's all about. When you think about sustainability and you think about keeping this land in good repair so that you can make a living on it, maybe you can return it back to your children in better condition than you got it. So that's an effort that we're looking at leveraging resources across the country. We've got some of those resources sitting in different places of this room right now. to try to make this a center focus going forward of what's this whole idea of stewardship and sustainability really mean, because that's a big one, and it's going to get bigger. So I wanted to give you a little bit of background to some of the things we're doing. We're really excited to get these resources in place and start producing some more and unique information so that maybe it'll be beneficial to you folks. So with that, we really appreciate your attendance. We appreciate the vendors that made the trip here and or have the products for us to consider. And if we can do anything for you, have ideas, suggestions, run one of us down and let us know. Thank you very much.